Good morning, everybody. Why Ryan Reynolds is even worse than Blake Lively, or just as bad. I think that what has been overlooked in the whole story is the role of Ryan Reynolds, the husband who supposedly came to the aid of his wife, the damsel in distress who was so harassed. It's all BS. He is an evil person. He's worse than the wife. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, I'm going to tell you why. But let's get a little closer. Now, let's keep in mind that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are a very powerful couple in Hollywood. According to what I've read, I don't even know what movies they're in, okay? I'm not a movie person, but I'm very interested in human behavior and relationships. And Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are immensely powerful, and Justin Baldoni is powerless. I made a video before, I don't know where it goes, up here, where I took some clips from People magazine doing the house tour of the Baldonis 4 years ago. That video is not monetized because People has a copyright on their house tour video, which is fine, totally fine. They're very modest means. The power couple. Now, when we see sexual harassment, we typically see the more powerful person harassing the less powerless, the powerless, like the teacher and the student, the boss and the employee. Even in incest, the babysitter, the grandfather, the father, the mother with the child, and they take advantage of the powerlessness, because the powerful person is not the one that's being harassed. Look at Harvey Weinstein. Look at all the tactics they use. Diddy. If you don't do what I want, then I am going to destroy you. So, first of all, on the face of it, it seems very unlikely that this ever happened. But I want to focus right now on Ryan Reynolds, the husband who came to the aid of his distressed wife, who, let's remember, was also very powerful in Hollywood. This is why no one wants to speak out against them. None of the other actors, not even the woman who wrote the book on which the movie is based, wants to say anything. She deleted her Instagram account. There's a channel I watch. It was actually the woman who interviewed Blake Lively, I think a year or so ago, that interview that went viral about the bumps. She has been trying to get intimacy coordinators on her channel to do an interview. And yesterday was supposed to be the interview. And she said, this is the fourth one that has canceled or ghosted me. They don't want to go up against the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Why? Because their careers will be likely destroyed. Now, I want you to keep this power balance in mind as I go through these, and this is just off the cuff. I make these videos off the cuff. So I want you to remember that there is a huge power imbalance, and also keep in mind that Blake and Ryan and Taylor Swift invited Justin over at the very beginning of the shooting of the movie, at the very, very beginning of it, to let him know some ways that Blake Lively had wanted to change the scene, redirect the movie, had some other ideas, and that her ideas were so good. Kind of putting a little bit of pressure on him. And keep in mind, Blake had never read the book until after they were filming. She didn't even read the book. Ryan Reynolds was on set a lot of the time, also giving his input on redirecting the movie. So Ryan was involved from the very beginning, he and his wife, in how to direct the movie. Now, if there was indeed any sexual harassment, would this startling young nobody kind of Justin Baldoni try to harass Blake Lively while her husband is on set, while they're this power couple, and ruin his career? Maybe. Okay, maybe he would. So let's leave him out of it. Let's just look at Ryan Reynolds. He's involved from the beginning in directing the scene, supporting his wife. He's on set a lot of the time, redirecting scenes, redirecting the action. And you want to tell me that during this time, she's being sexually harassed and he does nothing? If she was indeed sexually harassed, he would have gone over to Justin and be like, hey man, cut this shit out. That's my wife. He would have gotten Justin fired. He would have gone to Sony. He would have done something. He would have taken action. Okay? He would have taken action. But he didn't. Okay, you might say he didn't know about it. Maybe he didn't know about it. His wife didn't tell him about it. Okay, I'll give you that. But then, while he's making, I guess he stars in this movie called Deadpool, which I've never watched. I never even heard of before. Again, I'm not a movie person. In this movie that was released, Deadpool, I think it was released, he inserted some scenes into this movie where he called himself Nice Pool, where he's mocking Justin Baldoni, mocking him. Okay, he's making several comments related directly to Justin Baldoni, which is why he's also being sued. Where he's wearing a man bun, he's behind a flower shop. He says, I'm a feminist with a podcast. He makes a joke about my wife just had a baby and true nothing there, mocking the fact that Justin had wanted to know how much Blake weighed because he had to do this lifting scene with her and he'd had some back injuries. So those 4 examples, they inserted into there. A man who is protecting his wife is going to be angry and get the guy fired and talk to him. He's not going to mock him in a separate movie. He's not going to mock him. Get the fuck out of here. That's just BS. He's mocking him because he wants to humiliate him. He's not mad. There's nothing bad that happened. Furthermore, a real man supports other men. Okay? Not mocking them, trying to take them down. He's trying to take down another man. Instead of being part of a brotherhood of men that support each other. They're not even competing. There's room in Hollywood for both of them. And furthermore, Ryan Reynolds is a coward. Because instead of keeping his wife in check and exerting some leadership in the relationship, he just went along and lets her play her little flippant, oh wow, I took in my arms. I got distracted. These arms. He's letting her play out these flippant, arrogant, evil takedown tactics rather than saying, honey, settle down. We're going to get you a screenplay. If he knew his wife wanted to be a director, why doesn't he get her a screenplay? Support your wife this way, Ryan. You're not even listening. Because guys like that don't listen. They know everything. Get a screenplay for your wife, something she's passionate about. She loves rom-coms, girly dresses. Get her a screenplay. Get her all set up so she can direct her own movie. Why you want to steal another man's movie, Ryan Reynolds? You got no dick game, you got no balls. You're weak. Exposing your weakness. If your wife was actually sexually harassed, you would have confronted the harasser and had him fired because you're a powerful man. If you were a real man, you would have exerted leadership in the relationship by telling your wife to calm down, and you would have supported her in being a director for her own movie. You would not have ridiculed another man in another movie. So you, Ryan Reynolds, are a very poor example of a man, although you're very hot. Ryan Reynolds is very hot. I want to say he's very good looking. He's good. He's got nice features. He dresses extremely well. He's fuckable. I would definitely fuck him. Except I don't hook up. But you know what I'm saying. I don't find him repulsive at all. Like Elon Musk is repulsive. Oh, he gives me the creeps. Ryan Reynolds is nice to look at. So is Justin Baldoni. I'm just commenting on their behavior. And that again goes to show that people can be very attractive. Like Blake Lively is fuckable. She's hot. But her personality grates me the wrong way. And Ryan Reynolds, like, people can be so good looking and be so bad, like the Kardashians. So, I think we get so lured in by people who are good looking, and people who are good looking can get away with so many things. This is why an average looking person like me, I'm probably like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. My body's probably like a 9 out of 10. My face is probably a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I don't know, but I've had to work on my personality. I had to work on my personality because I can't bamboozle people with my looks. Know what I want to, but I think that those of us who are average looking or a little bit above average have to work on our personality. I've always had to work on my personality. I never got the sense that I didn't. And I think people who are very attractive or who grow up very entitled, they don't have to work on their personality because everyone always kowtows to them and is enamored by them and looks up to them and thinks they're so wonderful. So they never get that inner sense of I have to be nice. I have to work on things. I care how I show up. I care how I treat people. They never had to. I don't think they had to work on that because people just adore them. So I don't think they ever had to work on that. So and they're convinced that they're right. One more thing about that dance. That dance was very sensual. Extremely sensual. By the way, I was an escort for many years. I still have some sugar daddies, and I do very sensual cuddle appointments with like stroking, and guys are always like, you're so sensual, your skin is so soft. And I'm just wearing my underwear and my bra and just doing all the sensual stuff, and men love it, this emotional, sensual touch. So I'm a very sensual person, and I'm just saying that their dance scene was very sensual with very little touch. There was no kissing, and his hands never went below her waist. He wasn't grabbing her ass or grabbing her breasts. He wasn't kissing her. He was just putting his face in her neck, which is a very sensual move, and putting his face in the neck. And then he wanted to just do like maybe some kissing, and she's the one who insisted they should talk because I think she is uncomfortable with the intimacy. But that scene was like a G-rated scene. Like, that was a G-rated scene, and she's saying it was harassment because she's lying. Okay, if you can't do a G-rated dance scene, you shouldn't be an actress. This was not something that happened during their lunch break. This was not a dance that happened during a lunch break or after the shoot. This was part of the freaking movie. This was a movie about two people falling in love. Okay? How do you show that? The eye contact, they have to touch. The touching was very limited. He stroked her hair once, he looked in her eyes, he put his face by her neck, his nose next to her nose, and that's harassment? Give me a freaking break. And Ryan Reynolds is a very poor example of what a man should be who's protecting his wife. He wasn't protecting his wife. He is fanning the flames of her entitled, what do I want to call it? This would be a good name for the video. Ryan Reynolds fanning the flames of his wife's deceit. It's worse. I have to think of the right word. It's worse than deceit. Takedown. He's fanning the flames or for vindictive takedown. But the takedown vindictive is unsubstantiated. It's a lie. He's fanning the flames of her, what is it? Oh my goodness. German is my first language, so sometimes I have trouble. Even though I won the spelling bee in 5th grade, I'm a good speller, but sometimes I have difficulty finding the right words, and I think it's because English is my second language. But it's what Amber Heard did. It's when you're trying to take somebody out that has done nothing wrong just because you have it out for them. I have to look up the word, but that's what Ryan Reynolds did. He's fanning the flames of his wife's vindictive evilness. He's fanning it. He should subdue it. Someone in their relationship needs to calm this shit down. because they're making themselves look worse and worse. But like Eckhart Tolle says, we're in an age of egos being destroyed, structures being destroyed, and that's kind of like it's kind of a spiritual thing when you see the world in a certain way, or you see your life in a certain way, and then something happens to shake it up. And I'm just talking about, you lose your house in a fire, or you get a divorce, someone close to you dies, your fame is taken from you, your beauty is taken from you as you get older. These are just natural things that people go through that destroys their sense of self, and it's an opportunity to awaken. That the pain, I'm sure that Blake and Ryan are going through a lot of pain as they're desperately hanging on to fighting for their identity, their sense of self, their ego. And I've been there. I mean, I have my ego too. When I lose subscribers on my Just for Fans, I'm like, ah. Or on my Twitter, followers just under my work name, I'm like, ah, like it feels so humbling. And it's good to be aware of that, because it's good to be humbled, because otherwise you start to think you're so great. I remember when I had a video that went viral years ago, and someone posted one of my YouTube videos on World Star Hip Hop. Escort complains about client who came too fast. I was mad at this guy. His cock felt really good. He came in like a minute. I made a video about it. This was like in 2015 or 2016. It's a long time ago. And at the video, I don't know if it's still on my channel or if I hid it. I think it's still on my channel. You can look for it. It's actually really funny. At the time I was mad, but when I'm mad, sometimes I'm just funny. I'm like, he felt so good, and then he came so quick. It's supposed to be about mutual pleasure. And World Star Hip Hop picked it up because you think of a sex worker as wanting just to get it over with, but I'm actually enjoying my being in that connection and of service and in that mutual pleasure with the man. Like, I'm embodied in it. I'm like, this is really feeling good, and went viral. And then also I'd written a book called The Fuck List, and so I became like a little bit full of myself, like, I'm so great, people love my videos, I wrote this great book, I'm so great. And then I got humbled over time. I lost some subscribers, not that many people read the book. Some people thought the book was horrible. On my YouTube channel, I had so many nasty comments that I, for a while, turned off my comments. I just turned them on again. I started like feeling really attacked, which didn't feel good, and I've had to be humbled. I'm just saying that all those painful things, the nasty comments, the losing followers and subscribers or fame, made me question, what am I doing to attract these negative comments? So I've changed how I do my videos. I don't talk about my personal life anymore, except for the members, okay? Because I'm like, I'm triggering people by my content, and I don't want to do that. I don't want the negative fallout. I'm not all that. What do I need to do so that more people want what I'm offering? Like it's kind of a chance for introspection. But some people are more likely to introspect, and some people are less likely to introspect. Sometimes life forces us to introspect, but I think that if I were Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, I wouldn't even have done any of that. I would have been like, I'm so honored. I want to support this. I would have been like, I want to support this young director, Justin Baldoni, who's so passionate about this book that he bought the rights 2 years before to this book about domestic violence. Even though he seems like he has a very loving family, like his mother and his wife are co-owners with a third woman of this mother baby wearing clothes product line called We Are Amma, where they have like breastfeeding shawls. And the dad also looks like very emotionally attuned. Somehow he became, though, like this pro-feminist person, and I think he forgot that women can be bad. But Ryan Reynolds should have been like, I want to support this man who supports women. He's a great director. I'm going to support this director. But Ryan Reynolds just tried to take him down. Like, that is just, bro, that's loser status, Ryan Reynolds. You're hot, but you act like a loser. That's loser status. You're fanning the flames of your wife's vindictiveness, unsubstantiated false claims. You don't provide any male leadership. You're trying to take down other men. You're weak. You're a weak man, Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is a weak man, fanning the flames of his dipshit airhead wife, because she has no brain. If she had a brain, she would think about the consequences of her actions. I think I've said enough. I think you guys get the point, but I want to hear more people talk about Ryan Reynolds' role in this instead of just Blake Lively. And so that's it. That's all I have for this video, you guys. So thank you for watching my video, and I will be back for the comments.